You suck. You wanted this noise. You wanted this noise.
What's going on, guys? I'm Jake.
I'm Tyler.
And this is Explicit Sports. So to continue with our trend, we're going to do the NFC West. Let's start with
The Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Start with Cardinals.
I've got the Cardinals going 7-9.
I've got them going to 7-9 too.
Very, very difficult schedule with an aging team.
They do. They do have a very hard schedule.
I mean, this might change if Andre Ellington proves that he can stay healthy for a full year.
Well, he's been in the league for, 4 or 5 years now, and he hasn't really proven
No, I
shit.
think this is his second year.
No, he's been in the league for at least 4.
But they improved their O-line, picking up Mike Upati from the 49ers. They still got Jared Veld here. They're solid offensively. It's just they're getting old. Larry Fitz is not getting any younger. Carson Palmer's 35, which is deathbed for quarterbacks unless you're Peyton Manning
Or
Brett Favre. And I don't think their defense got any better from last year, which they had a good defense last year. It's just it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough, and
they just couldn't stay healthy. I mean,
Yeah.
even Tyron,
Yeah.
the Honey Badger, he was injured a lot of the year. They battled injuries all year last year, and they were 11-5. They started out the season kick-ass. I believe they were 9-1 at one point, and then they went 2-4 for the rest of the season, which was pretty impressive with the amount of injuries they had. I mean, they were playing with third stringers. I mean, deep into the season, they played quite a few games with third stringers,
but
they
they
were
also
still
lost
getting it done.
Darnell Dockett.
Yeah,
Darnell Dockett went to the Niners, but they still got Calais Campbell. They've still got Pat Pete, Gerard Powers,
Honey Badger.
Tyrann Mathieu, Deion Buchanan.
He's up and coming. He's gonna start. He's gonna start lighting it up too. I think.
They're good. I just don't in this division. I don't think they'll fare well.
They're good. They're a good team. In any other division, the Cardinals would probably be a winning team, a first place team in a lot of other divisions in the league. But they've got to play against Seattle and now the Rams too. I mean, the Rams are going to be good this year too. I mean, they were pretty good last year. Their defense was lights out. It's just a very, very tough division to come out on top. And even for Seattle last year, a lot of people don't remember because, when you make it to the Super Bowl, it's pretty clouded. But they started the year off 6-4.
Mm-hmm.
They started the year off 6-4, and they were trailing the Cardinals.
When the Cardinals were 9-1.
The Cardinals were 9-1. Seattle was 6-4, and they came back and they ended up winning the division and clinching the number 1 seed. That's how good this division is. Okay.
Speaking of the Seahawks,
I've
got them at 13-3.
I've got them at 14-2,
which is saying something because I'm the one that's a Hawks fan here.
He's the diehard Hawks fan.
I am. I'll admit it. We'll get it out of the way now. Oh, bandwagon. No, I've been there my whole life. But the thing is, I understand there's 1 or 2 games every year. See the Chiefs last year and the Chargers last year.
I could not believe that the Chiefs beat them.
We lose 1 or 2 games that we weren't supposed to lose.
But
shouldn't have lost.
Never by much.
Never by much,
It
but
was like a
regardless,
6-point
we
difference.
lose.
It was like a 6-point difference when they lost to KC. It might have been 2024. I think it was 2024.
But regardless, we drop 1, and it's stupid, but it gets them refocused.
Sometimes that's what you need. I mean, the last 2 years they went to the Super Bowl. They had a game in each of those years that just punched them in the mouth and said, hey, look, you're not as good as you think you are, but you can come back.
I've got us losing at Dallas, home against the Steelers, and home against the Rams.
I've got Seattle losing to Green Bay. Now, this is a controversial loss.
Flip a coin.
Seattle has not lost a primetime game in, 2-3 years? Probably longer than that.
So, yeah.
I mean, if you really want to think.
Come prime time, go ahead and, on your fantasy teams, play Russell, play Marshawn, play Baldwin, Curse, anybody you want, play them. Because if it's prime time, they're going to light it the fuck up.
But it's against Green Bay, man, and they are playing in Lambeau Field. They're not going to really have the old school Lambeau advantage because it's not going to be cold. It's week 2. It's still going to be decent weather, warm weather over there. It's probably going to be warmer than it is over in Washington. But I got them losing to Green Bay, but that game could go both ways. And then, of course, I've got them losing to the Cowgirls because they're playing in Dallas.
That one, too. Flip a coin.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember last year when Dallas played the Cardinals? And it was basically a fucking home game for the Cardinals?
I've got Seattle at 14-2 only because I didn't want to put them at 16-0. I didn't want to put that evil on them. I didn't want to do that. And I picked the 2 games that are really up in the air. But at the same time, if you want to argue that they could go 16-0, they just picked up Jimmy fucking Graham. Okay? Just forget about Seattle's defense right now. Just don't. I mean, we don't even need to address that.
They've spoken for themselves.
They've spoken for themselves.
LOB.
That's all you got to say. Let's take their defense out of the picture. Let's just hypothetically, let's say that Seattle's going to have a mediocre average defense. Let's say they're going to put up average numbers. They're going to be middle of the pack. Let's just say that. With the offense that they have, even if they had a middle of the pack defense, they're still going to win a lot of games. Who was it? Top 100. You just said his name.
I think it was Nick Moody from the Niners.
Linebacker. Niners said, you've got to cover Jimmy Graham and stop Marshawn. He didn't mention Russell Wilson. He didn't mention Russell Wilson, containing Russell Wilson.
Or Doug Baldwin, or Curse, or Chris Matthews.
You can lock those guys down. The Patriots showed everybody that last year. Because really Seattle's receivers last year didn't play any DBs that were of very high caliber. And yeah, they did play DBs that were of high caliber, but it wasn't a backfield that was as stacked as the Patriots with Revis and Browner and McCourty and their linebackers, and they had a pretty solid defensive line. The Patriots defense was up there against teams that Seattle's wide receivers had to play against. They're
not a receiving team. They don't.
They're not. They don't need to be. But okay, back to what I was saying. You got to contain Russ. You've got to put enough guys on Marshawn. You got to make sure that you're going to be able to stop Marshawn, but you've also got to make sure you've got at least a double team on Jimmy. At least. And I'm sorry, but if Seattle gets in the red zone, they're probably going to score. If you allow them to get within 20 yards of the end zone, they're probably going to score. Because I don't understand how they wouldn't.
You've got to put all of those on Russell, Marshawn, and Jimmy. And then how are you going to stop Doug Baldwin, Jermaine Kearse, and Chris Matthews?
Yeah, because you're going to have a lot of...
Luke Wilson.
You will have a lot of one-on-one matchups. You're going to have a lot of one-on-one matchups. You're going to have safeties pulling to cover Jimmy Graham, and you're going to have a lot of one-on-one matchups for Kearse and Baldwin.
I think Matthews is going to have a big year because of that. Because of that right there. You're going to have one-on-one, and he's 6'5".
He's huge.
He's 6'5", 225.
He knows how to play ball.
He's a big guy.
And mind you, we're talking if their defense was average.
If their defense was average.
Remember, their defense is going to be getting turnovers left and right and giving that highly talented, lethal offense that many more chances. I don't think anybody can argue that Seattle's going to take this division.
So, after this quick little break, we're going to be coming at you with the Rams and the Niners.
I want it now! I want cake now! I want it now!
Stop doing heroin!
Ooh. Aunt Sharon got out again. Hey, look! I can spin around!
Come on, hug Daddy. I love my gopher.
We're back. Giving you the division breakdown of the NFC West. We are going to kick this one off with the San Francisco 49ers. Jake's favorite team.
I've got them going 6-10, and I feel that might be a little generous.
That is astonishing to hear from a diehard Seahawks fan. He's got them with 2 more wins than me. I got them going 4-12.
I've got to give them a little credit. They have some veteran guys who know how to win.
They do. You know what? Everybody's hating on the Niners. I mean, me included, because it's the fucking 49ers, and I just really think they're going to do terrible this year. Fuck you, Niners fans. You can all suck a big fat cock.
We were good in the 80s.
They really do have a talented roster. They've got a lot of bigger
They do.
names still on their defense. They lost. It was a fucking retirement fucking party
Who was
for
it?
their
Who was it?
defense.
Patrick Willis, Justin Smith,
Chris Borland.
Chris Borland. So, I mean, you've got
Those are
three
huge
Pro Bowlers right
names.
there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You lose Frank Gore to Indy.
That's a huge... I mean, he was like the main cog in the wheel that was their sorry-ass offense.
They lost Mike Upati to Arizona.
Yeah, so have fun running around there, Kaepernick.
Carlos
you're gonna
Hyde.
be pressured a lot more this year. Carlos Hyde, he.
This will be the
come
year
step
that'll
up.
make or break him.
I think this will be the year that a new running back will take over the throne in San Francisco, and it will be Carlos Hyde.
I don't know, because they obviously don't think so if they went out and picked up Reggie Bush.
You get rid of Frank Gore, you gotta bring somebody else in.
Why? They still have Kendall Hunter, and he wasn't bad.
Okay, you're right, yeah. But I mean,
Obviously, they don't have too much faith.
They could be utilizing Reggie Bush as just a check down pass back. You know, they could be utilizing him for screens, stuff like that. Reggie Bush is
Or
really,
return man.
Yeah, or a return man. He's not a power guy. I mean, he's not like a power back who's going to come in and carry a run of the weight. Because if he did, he'd just get hurt.
They also went out and got Torrey Smith.
Yes, and Torrey Smith and Anquan Bolden won a Super Bowl together, beating the Niners.
Did.
So they played together. They got some chemistry.
Vernon Davis, I think he's lost a step.
Well, he's good for 14 games a year. Because he's got to play Seattle twice.
I just don't think they have enough, and especially on defense. They go out, they draft Eric Armstead from Oregon, who didn't do a whole lot at Oregon either. Glenn Dorsey, they went out and got an often hurt Darnell Dockett. And then you get to their linebackers. Their only returning starting linebackers are Navarro Bowman and Alden Smith. They're good, but how do you replace Borland and Willis with Aaron Lynch, and Michael Wilholt and Nick Moody?
I mean, any player can step up any year. I mean, every year we see a new breakout star. We do. And chances are that there could be one in San Francisco. But let's just address the huge elephant in the room right now and talk about how the Niners got rid of Jim Harbaugh. What in the fuck were you guys thinking? You big fucking crybabies. Just because Jim Harbaugh was hard on you guys? Oh, boo-hoo. What did he do for your organization? He
Took you
was
back
a
to the Super Bowl?
fucking winner. That motherfucker won the NFC West. How many years in a row? 2. I thought he won 3.
Maybe.
I think he won 3.
I am the biggest Harbaugh hater. I think he's a whiny little bitch who doesn't know how to shut the fuck up.
He is a whiny little bitch who throws himself, but he had that team
But he works
on the
it.
right track.
He works
did.
it.
He had that team. And I'm not going to discredit you, Jim Tom Sula. You've been with the organization for quite some time. You obviously have some relationships with the players that are there, and they're going to play for you, and you're going to make them play hard-nosed football because you've got no other choice. You're in the NFC West. But you're no Jim Harbaugh. And sorry, 49ers, you're going to have a really, really, really rough fucking year.
So the Rams, I've got them at 11-5.
I've got them at 12-4. I think the Rams will take second place in the division this year.
I think they'll be a wild card.
I think they could get a wild card, and they could do some damage in the playoffs with their defense. I mean, they've got the best defensive line in football, and I'm just going to come out and say that right now because they are fucking stacked on the D-line. And they've got good linebackers. They've got Janoris Jenkins. He's a pretty good corner. I'm not exactly familiar with their free safety or their strong safety. I'm sure you know who it is.
TJ McDonald, Rodney McLeod, LaMarcus Joyner, Mark Barron. That's just their safety.
I mean, their defense was playing lights out at the end of the year last year.
They went out and picked up Akeem Ayers from New England.
They don't really need to worry about their defense. Now, the offensive side of the ball is what they've been struggling with.
Can Nick Foles do enough?
I think Nick Foles will be 10 times better than Sam Bradford. I mean,
Think so?
Sam Bradford, you might as well just fucking wheel him out onto the field in a wheelchair and let him throw passes and throw some flags on his wheels or whatever. He's worthless, and he'll never do shit in this league. Sorry, Chip, but you fucked yourself there by getting rid of Nick Foles, because Nick Foles, yeah, he had a game where he threw 7 touchdown passes? Fucking not a lot of quarterbacks. Look up the quarterbacks who have thrown 7 touchdown passes in a game.
I think he was 3.
Look at who they are. And yeah, you'll see. Nick Foles, he'll step into throws. He's not really very injury prone. I mean, yeah, he got hurt last year, but
every
was
quarterback
maybe,
in this league is going to get banged up.
especially if you're playing for the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, yeah, their offensive line was killer last year, but I still think that Chip just worked him too hard.
My 2 question marks on the offense is, do you step up and do you give Todd Gurley the reins? Or do you go running back by committee?
I think at first you go running back by committee. If Todd Gurley starts to step up and show himself or show everybody in the organization that he can actually go out there and carry that weight and run the ball, and who knows? I mean, they're saying he's going to be the next AP. You never fucking know. We'll see. But I think they've got a solid committee. Trey Mason, Benny Cunningham, and Gurley. I think they'll be solid if they run a committee. They don't really have any wide receivers. I'm kind of leaning toward Tavon Austin having a good year. You never know. Kenny Britt, like I said, any receiver can come out and have a good year. This is a passing-friendly NFL now. People step up and do things every year. It's someone's gotta. I mean, someone's gotta. If not, then yeah, you can count them out. If they can't move the ball, they're gonna have to learn how to pass. Eventually, you got to play Seattle twice a year. If you're going to try and contend in your division, you got to get somebody the ball passing.
I disagree with you saying by committee. I think if you moved up in the draft and you took Todd Gurley, I think you've got to pull him aside and tell him that he's the starter. He's young. You've got to give him confidence. You've got to. Because if he goes in there thinking every fucking run play, well, this could be my job. Well, this could be my job. And if he's as good as people are saying he is, you've got to give him the rock and give him the confidence.
I agree. Because, I mean, how long has it been since there was a running back draft in the first round? It's been a long time.
It didn't last year, but I think the year before that.
Well, still, to see a draft go where a running back... No, it was a couple years. It was a couple years at least because they were talking about it. When I watched the draft, they were saying, are we going to have a first-round running back finally after the last couple years? He was drafted in the first round. He's a first-round talent, but we've also seen a lot of fucking first-round talent bust in the NFL. But like I said, we'll see. We'll see. I think.
So that's the NFC West.
Yeah, I think we can. I think we can lay that to rest. I think that was pretty solid.
So next video, how about the NFC East?
Yeah, we can tackle the NFC East.
NFC East.
We'll take the NFC East next.
Well, I'm Jake.
I'm Tyler.
This is Explicit Sports.